Happy Turn Up Tuesday, y'all. It is me. I am back. I'm not 100% back to my full self, but I am getting there. Just in the past couple days, I just felt myself healing. I am so grateful to God. But what is going on? I hope everyone is doing well out there. Of course, I'm coming to you guys with a motivational message of the day. I'm always getting tongue-tied. And today I just want to talk about, some things that we might be holding on to. Is it time to release? And I know you guys know what I'm talking about when I say it's time to let go. Amen, somebody, as the pastor would say. That truck did not have to be that loud. But anyway, it reminds me of a story that I heard someone telling about this rare breed of monkeys. I forget which country they mentioned that they were in, and they were trying to capture the monkeys because it was such a rare breed. They never saw a monkey like this before. It wasn't that many of them, and they were capturing them. So they came up with this technique to capture the monkeys. They put nuts or something in the bottle, which the nozzle of the bottle was slim enough for the monkey to stick his hand in. And then when he grabbed a hold of the nut, he couldn't get his hand back out. But the monkey didn't know that all he had to do was let go of the nut, and then he would be free. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Does that sound familiar? Is something holding you captive that you will be released from if you just chose to let go today? And that story just blew me completely away. Of course, monkeys aren't as intelligent as us human beings are, but sometimes us human beings don't seem to be that intelligent either because we don't use our common sense. If you are holding on to something that is hindering you from moving forward, all you have to do is let it go. It's just as simple as that. I try to apply that same process to things in my life. One thing, for instance, it would be 6 years in January, this coming January, since I smoked a cigarette. And I remember as a teenager, we hang out all night with our friends and we would smoke our weed, and we had our 40s and everybody had a cigarette and we thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Wasn't nobody over 18. We was all between maybe 15 and 17. And I don't know where we was even getting the cigarettes we order the 40s from, but we had it. And we stayed with it and we hung out, and just about all of us in our group smoked cigarettes. And I remember that's really how I picked up that habit of smoking cigarettes. I was a teenager. Everybody was doing it. We sat out on that step and we just hung out till the sun came up. We did it night in and night out. And I remember the day that I quit smoking, and I just dropped it. Just like I picked it up, I put it down, and some people say, it's not that easy. And, why is it not that easy? Because you're saying that it's not that easy, or because you don't want to do it? Just say what it really is. I don't want to stop smoking cigarettes. I wanted to stop smoking cigarettes. It sounded like I had a freaking frog in my throat when I talked. I was like, oh, girlfriend, that is not cute on NT level at all. So something gotta go. And it's going to have to be these cigarettes. When I started talking, And I heard that frog in my voice. That's when I knew that it was time. My mother had passed away. The anniversary of her birthday since her passing, um, it was 1 year, almost 1 year since she passed away. So it was her first birthday since she passed. And I had gotten together with my family to celebrate my mother's birthday. We called it Love Day. We were all at, my mother's house that she had passed on to my sister. And I went outside to smoke a cigarette. And all I can hear my mom say was, Sakira, please put that cigarette down. And she would say it just like that. If she saw me smoking a cigarette, she came to one of my cookouts or something, and we all outside, and I light up a cigarette, she would say, she would just frown up her face. My mom was the biggest drama queen ever. And she would just frown up her face like she was going to cry if I ain't put that cigarette down. So that day was the last day I smoked a cigarette. I ain't go back for nothing. I mean, when I say let it go, let it go. I did not go back for a single puff to curb the urge. They say it's like the 7th day of not smoking is when your body tries to find the nicotine that has been used to for so long. So it felt like, someone warned me of that. So it felt like my body was looking for the nicotine in my eyeballs. So it felt like my eyes was like about to pop out, and I was like, gosh, it's not in my eyeballs. But that was and that wasn't even really that bad. Once that 7th day was over, my body didn't look for nicotine anymore. I could sit right next to somebody that was smoking. I could conversate with somebody that's smoking a cigarette. I could be in a car with somebody that's smoking a cigarette. It just didn't bother me. But we have to have the desire to do better. So there's another question that we might have to ask ourselves. What do we want for ourselves, and how bad do we want it? Like I said, I really wanted to stop smoking cigarettes. It stank. Like, a girlfriend don't like nothing that stinks. You can ask my kids. I love my Bath and Body Works spray, and I get it in different scents. If I don't have no more Bath and Body Works Body Splash, it's a problem. Like, my kids know that's what I like. They buy it for me all the time. If I run out, I'm right at the mall. I did not like the fact that cigarette smell, it just started bothering me. Like, even though I smoked for all those years, like, it was fun at first. It might have been a little sexy or whatever, female sitting there with a cigarette. After a while, it wasn't sexy or fun no more. It was just a bad habit, and it had to go. So that was one thing that I'm using, for example, for my personal experience. But that could be any number of things. I don't want to go walking down nobody's aisle or nothing like that. But what that thing is that is hindering you. What do you have to release today? It is time to let something go that is holding you bound. It don't even have to be nothing physical. It could be something mental. Like, this thing is just tearing you up mentally. Like, you can't even think straight. You can't even do the things that you want to do the way that you know that you can do them, because your mind ain't right. Is this something that you need to release today? Because that is going to open you up to moving forward to the next level of your life. I want to be stronger. I want to be better. I want to be more successful. I want to get closer to God. I want to be a multi-millionaire / billionaire, whatever God wants me to be. I want that Mansa Musa blessing over my life. The wealthiest man that ever walked the face of the earth to date. No one has ever been as wealthy as Mansa Musa. If God want to pronounce that blessing over my life, Lord, here I am. But I have to be ready, willing, and able to receive it. We ask God for so much. We want so much, but we don't want to do the work. We have to do something to get something. What are you doing to even prepare yourself for a better future or for the next level of your life? Or are you continuing to do the same thing and you are getting the same results? Because now you're just crazy. After a while, it becomes insanity. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's just not going to happen like that. You have to put one foot in front of the other and go in a direction that you need to go in, that's going to take you to the place that you want to go. That's the only way it's going to happen. You can pray for it until your face fall off. Yes, we do serve a prayer answering God. God will say yes to your prayers, but he's also going to wait on you. While you sitting around thinking that God has forgotten about what you prayed for, he ain't forget about you. He waiting for you to come closer to what you asked him for. He waiting for you to move in, to lean in a little bit closer. He like, you ain't close enough. You ain't close enough. You come on. And you want what you asking me for? Walk a little bit closer to what you asking me for. You gonna have to break a sweat. Hard, like I said, hard works both ways. Hard works in a bad relationship, hard works in a healthy relationship. If you want a successful and happy and fulfilled marriage or relationship, you have to put in the work. You have to do what it takes to make your spouse happy. You have to do what it takes to make your spouse happy. You can't just do nothing, because you will get nothing and you won't be satisfied. You will not be satisfied or fulfilled in a relationship that you're in or with the person that you choose to settle down with if you are not willing to put in the work. You can sit around and wait for him to do it, or you can sit around and wait for her to do it, but you got to do it. And what we don't give enough attention to is we have to work on ourselves. It ain't necessarily catering to your spouse hand and foot, or washing their feet, or telling them you love them every 5 minutes. When they see you bettering yourself, they gonna want to be better to themselves and you. That's how we are. We are creatures of nature. It's going to be what's around them. Oh, my wife wants better. My husband wants better. This whole house about to get better. It's going to be the nature of your relationship. Next thing you know, y'all a power couple. But everybody waiting on somebody else to make the move so everything can be hunky-dory. And it's not fair to the spouse. It's not fair to either spouse for the weight to be leaning towards one side, and not the other, or either way that it goes. It's just not fair, but either way, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for the person not doing and for the person that's doing. If you want your relationship to be everything that you desire for it to be in your heart, you have to do the work too, or it's not going to be satisfying and fulfilling to you. So I'm telling you, it is just so many things that we have to let go of. We have to learn how to let go of our egos. We are so stuck up on our egos and who we used to be and who we think we are, and what we got up under our belt and all that kind of stuff. And then we looking down at other people because we're not making the same mistakes that they are making, and we are hindering ourselves by sitting up on this high horse. We have to learn how to humble ourselves. We have to learn how to humble ourselves. There's no other way that is going to happen for you. You're not going to be successful in reaching the goals that you're trying to reach if you don't learn how to humble yourself. As an entrepreneur, My customer's problem is my problem. You know, if they have an issue with any services that I provided for them, I don't care if I have to drive an hour or 2 hours back to where I provided services for them to rectify the situation. I'm not going to just get the money and go. You know, and that's how you get longevity. That's how you get customers, a good quality of customers for a long time. I have learned how to treat people along the years of my life. It's people out there who still think they can do and say anything out of their mouth and don't have to reap the consequences. People are not even scared of consequences no more. People ain't scared of karma no more. We just out here doing anything. It is an entire mess. The human race, you got dogs in the dog pound that treat each other better than human beings treat each other. I don't know what's going on. I don't have the answers to none of that. All I know is we have to start with us. I cannot change the world. That is not my agenda. I am not out here trying to change the world or take credit for making the world a better place or anything like that. The world has to change itself, person by person. You will die miserably, you will die horribly, you will be a disappointment. The mark that you leave on this earth will not be a good one. You know, I just seen it come and go in so many ways, different forms and fashions. All I know is I care a lot about morals because my father installed that in me with everything that he had inside of him. You know, so anything that is morally appropriate, that is what I'm going to do. I am going to do the things that was embedded inside of me. Moral wise, all the positive things that were embedded inside of me, because it was some not so good things that was embedded inside of me that I had to realize was complete lies. So I had to let go of that. Sometimes you have to push the restart button and unlearn everything that you have been taught, because you might have just been taught a whole bunch of lies. You might have been taught a whole bunch of lies, and I know that's what happened in my case. I mean, I was fed a whole bunch of BS that was not true about myself. And I had to realize, it took me a long time to realize that the things that they told me about myself wasn't true. That's probably what they wanted to believe about me. But none of it was true. All of it was absolute lies. So sometimes we have to unlearn the things that you think you know so much. Sometimes you have to unlearn some things and start relearning some things, the truths about yourself, who you really are. I wasn't taught who I really was. I was taught other people's perception of me. I was treated other people's perception of me. I had to get rid of all of that junk, and I had to dig deep, and it was a lot of junk. And I had to get rid of all of that junk so I can let the real stuff in. So maybe we have to unlearn some stuff. But what do you have to release today? You know, so that is my message of the day. It is time to let go. Like, what are you holding on to? What is holding you captive? Let it go, let it go, let it go. So that is it for me today, y'all. I am wrapping up my entire day. God bless you. And Lord willing, I will be back tomorrow with another motivational message of the day. Y'all be blessed.